Yes, Lovens, Crichton, Pearl. That's Team Ghana. Then Zbail, Sheila, and Dennis. That's Team Rwanda. Yes. I hope I read team. Yes. Has not had their code name. Yes. Which one? I don't have your list here. Did you register? They didn't register. Wow. Okay, to be sorted. So you didn't register, like seriously. You didn't write on any piece of paper? That is standard procedure. And I think the time when I brought in pieces of paper, you were in here, right? Because you had come by that time. So as they sort that out, so we shall have poetry as well, then PS, and then news anchoring, right? People participating in PS, yes. Then people participating in poetry, you go to room 13. That's where you convene with your judge. And then news anchoring, you also go to room 11. There on the other block up there. So PS, you go to room 12, then poetry 13, and then news anchoring, you go to room 11. I'll tell you when to go. So let's get that sorted and Lisa. Okay. So we are using Karl Popper debate format. Any team that is not familiar with the format, raise up your hand. It is okay if you are not familiar with the format, you can raise up your hand. No team? Yes? So all teams here are familiar with the format. You're all familiar. That's a confirmation, right? So I do not need to go through the format. It's Karl Popper debate format. We have 3 speakers on this side, other 3 on the other side. In between, we have cross-examination. We do not have points of information. All those things, we are aware, right? We know our speaker roles. Yes? Okay. You're saving us a lot of time because we had pairings already. So a team where we have, that's Alliance, right? So a team where we have Vianney, Emily, and Flavia. That's Team Zambia. Then Emmanuel, Javan, and Alneitwe. Is there a team I have signed Egypt? Okay, you beat Team Egypt. Emmanuel, Javan, and Demetria. Okay, yeah. Yes. So that's sorted. So I'm going to get pairings for round one, and then we can convene in the different rooms where we're supposed to be. If there are no questions. Do you have questions? I can take questions, like 3 if they are there. If they are not, then we get started. Okay, thank you very much. So I'll request people for public speech to convene in the room that I mentioned. Those doing PS, let's go to room 12. Those doing poetry, let's go to room 13. We shall find there the judge that is supposed to take care of that, and they will brief you on what they expect. Yes, I mentioned that earlier. The other block up. Then news anchoring, you go to room 11. Okay, I'll take it. Yes. We shall have all items happening at the same time, so you should choose one that you will be participating in. Just one item. Yeah. So I expect PS, poetry, and news anchoring to go to their rooms, and then we remain with debaters. Okay, so I think I only have debaters here, right? Debaters. We all know the format. That was agreed on. We know the format, and therefore we're going to start in the next few minutes. So here are the pairings for round one. So draws for round one. So the team that I'll read first is in the affirmative, and the team that I'll read second is in the negative. That's clear? Yes? Okay. So we shall have in room 1, Ghana versus Namibia. In room 2, we shall have Rwanda versus Zambia. In room 3, we shall have Kenya versus Venezuela. In room 4, we shall have Somalia versus Algeria. Room 5, Ethiopia versus Congo. Room 6, Cameroon versus Burundi. Room 7, Tanzania versus Nigeria. Room 8, Togo versus Uganda. Room 9, Egypt versus Sudan. I repeat, or we all have our pairings? Okay, one more time. Room 1, Ghana versus Namibia. Room 2, Rwanda versus Zambia. Room 3, Kenya versus Venezuela. Room 4, Somalia versus Algeria. Room 5, Ethiopia versus Congo. Room 6, Cameroon versus Burundi. Room 7, Tanzania versus Nigeria. Room 8, Togo versus Uganda. Room 9, Egypt versus Sudan. You still didn't get it. Okay, we all have our rooms and sides. Yes? Can we move? Let's move then. The round will start at exactly 50. Then please, okay, debaters, one more thing or two. Debaters, please. Debaters, I want to, one or two things. We shall not have prep time. I repeat, we shouldn't have, we are already late, so we shall not have prep time. They are running. So it's okay. You have 2 minutes. Round 1, I repeat.
making something. If someone develops an idea of making something, for sure, wherever you go somewhere, will never get that idea that you used to make that thing. It has created employment opportunities. First of all, you can be knowing something what you're doing. So far, when someone requests you to give him or her an idea which you used to make that thing, you were able to outline. With those, I'm done.
Thank you very much. Are we currently in content delivery or content creation? Thank you very much. Do you believe in ICT usage in content creation? Thank you very much. Then a question comes, won't you think that it will bring overdependence on ICT? Won't you think that it will bring overdependence on ICT by students? Yes? Thank you very much. Then, do you believe in fundamental knowledge? Yes. Yes, you believe? Dear Judge, take note. Thank you very much.
I begin my speech in a count of 3 to 1 panel on the motion that this House believes the future of education lies not in content delivery, but content creation. I come as the first affirmer, and besides, before I can begin, the team affirmers haven't defined the or make us understand what they are debating all about. What are they arguing for in this resolution? Well, I didn't telling us anything what education is. Here we are talking about an education where we think it is the acquisition of useful skills and knowledge. And number 2, we talk of the content delivery where we are involving passive learning, presentation from researches, and achievements of the already established education information by learners. And then when we are talking of content creation, I think we are all about concerns like creativity and innovation or implementation or putting into use the achieved and created knowledge that is coming up with new ideas and ways of doing things. Their farmers have failed to do that as their role and make us understand why you should be against them. And then number 2, they are talking about making someone increase creativity. They are not even acknowledging the presence or the problem of the lack of fundamental knowledge in their content creation, where we think that learners may not be able to have that fundamental knowledge or basics on which they can break down to their experimentation of principles and others. Thus, they might be misguided or bringing irrelevant information due to the lack of fundamental knowledge like procedures of experimentation and others. So I think that they are unable to look at that. And then the target in this debate is to find out how to solve real life problems. We are dealing with the future, I guess, in this solution. And therefore, in future with a specific mode of education, whether it is content delivery or content creation. And then the burden, I think that's what they had to do, and they have failed to do that. And then how can you say, like, okay, if you are all about creating employment opportunities, so how are you relating with the future in the education system, with the future of the education system? And therefore, they are not even telling us what is the status quo in maybe in this current education, or what has failed that they should be proposing for that. Anyway, I come to our case as team negators. We are finding that for this solution, we are determining which system is more effective to use in the near future of education in solving real life problems like poverty, unemployment, and development, digital illiteracy, and among others. And therefore, the burden of our farmers was to show us why the future of education is predicted to be in content creation, while us we prove to you, dear judge, that we are opting for content delivery to be dominant in the near future. And therefore, that I am explaining this, my second speaker will come and explain one of the points, and the third speaker will give a win to the debate. The problem here is the lack of fundamental knowledge or basic knowledge for experimentation. That was on the side as in content creation by learners, and then creation of untrusted or uncertain principles or content which is risky among us. And then therefore, our solution could be prioritizing content delivery for the future outcomes where learners can learn and acquire basic knowledge for impact and experimentation and the that we are facing that won't help us anything. And so leaving points of difficulty for transition, lack of focus on fundamental knowledge and core subjects implementation. Ready for examination.
I would like you to tell me what is creativity.
I already find that I'm talking of the way
Okay, thank you. Tell me about the skills acquired from education.
Well, I talk of problem solving skills like poverty and employment and others. And therefore, the skills among those could be creative, while particularly also delivering the fundamental knowledge could be basic.
Okay, thank you. What do you mean by fundamental knowledge? Okay, thank you. How are you creative at this time?
So I'm very creative in the way that I'm giving learners the basis of the fundamental knowledge, and then they can go and implement it into Fliers. If it's procedures of manufacturing, they can do that and earn a business from it. Thank you, dear judge.
The table of judges, my team negative. I begin 1, 2, 3. But before I start, the judge bear with me to set the parameter which the team negative had failed to do. That I sent the parameter geographically in Uganda. It has promoted talents, whereby a talent is a natural ability to do something well. The use of ICT has made people to promote their talents, whereby judges bear with me to also that it has made students become more critical thinking. They think critically. Due to this idea that had been brought by these ICT tools, students could think and do and come up with the idea. The above judges bear with me. It also say that this ICT had made students also become more wise, as it has been said by my fellow farmer. Table of judges, bear with me. If you could sit on the computer, you type, you print, your mind becomes wise more than the negators had been said. The table of judges. Then there is this creativity. Table of judges. You bear with me. When you become used to ICT, you become creative compared to the other guys of a negative side. You become creative, you become what? That's why you normally see here the technicians use these the music machines to produce sound. Because of being technique, the table of judges allow me to stop here.
All right, Honorable, how are you relating with the future of education in your case? Panel, you can take note of that. And number 2, a question comes. Is dependence on ICTs bringing about any critical thinking among learners? Are they doing so?
It can do.
Dear judge, take note of that. Anyway, what is your case in this? Is dependence on ICTs crucial for critical thinking and creativity?
The dependence of ICT really has made it crucial because
Thank you, I get you.
In a count of 3, 2, 1, I begin my speech. Panel, I'm really puzzled with affirmative government. They are telling us of promotion of remembrance. Dear judge, if you take a look in use of ICT, does not promote remembrance at all. But if we opt for content delivery, then a person will get